Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you'll continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Whether you're a visitor to Raleigh or a longtime resident, our next guest, Alli Hurley, has taken the guesswork out of finding Raleigh's hidden gems and most celebrated attractions. Her new book, 100 Things to Do in Raleigh Before You Die, is a guide that offers a window to the soul of Raleigh and must have for a hand-picked list of all the best Raleigh has to offer. So, Alli, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
100 Things Before I Die. I better get going.
You know,
I don't have a lot of time left.
I almost don't want to check it off, you know, because it's so dramatic, the end of the title, but it really is just, here's where you start.
You know, there's so much, before we get into all the things that are in the book, why would you write a book like this? What inspired you?
Oh, yes. Oh, good question. So the 100 Things to Do Before You Die is this series, and it's shout out to Reedy Press. They're the publishers of the series. And so they have these books for a lot of the major cities in the U.S. and even states. And they did not have a Raleigh book. And Raleigh is just changing so much and expanding so fast, and it's just become really exciting. Of course, having grown up here, I've always thought it was really exciting. But it just keeps getting better, and I was really keen to write one about Raleigh because I think it's a place to celebrate, and it was just a great opportunity for me to be able to jump onto the series.
Well, it's very cool. How do you write a book like this? Because obviously you have to choose. You're the editor, I'm assuming, as to what you put in a book. And 100 things, that's a lot of things. So how did you go about putting it together?
I definitely felt some pressure because I didn't want to exclude. I mean, there's so many, like, this is 100, but I could have made it 1,000, really. There's so many good places that are really near and dear to my heart. And so I think initially I started off, my brother, I just have to credit him. His name's Graham, and he was driving for Uber at the time, and he was going around the city, and he was just making note of where a lot of the people were congregating, some of the hot spots, some of the favorites, and he would talk to people, listen to their thoughts, and he just gave me so many ideas at the very beginning that was kind of a good jumping off point for me. And then having had that contribution, I decided to just reach out to more friends and family, because I wanted to have a diverse perspective. And so I had a lot of really trusted friends and family who were willing to provide feedback on what I thought would have been the 100 things. And they commented on basically saying like that they appreciated this spot about Raleigh, or they thought of another one that they thought I should include.
But ultimately, I guess you were the final judge,
right?
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's what it was. I found myself going back, having grown up here, to some of the places that I've loved for a really long time, and then trying to incorporate also some new things that are coming to Raleigh. But it was just carefully going through, narrowing down further and further. So it started out with these really big lists for each one of the sections. There are 5 sections in the book, and then just slowly going through and narrowing them down.
Well, what was your goal, your mission here? Because you can write a book for people who have never been here, but I kind of get the feeling you're also writing it for the folks that have been here a long time and don't know about these things.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. You know, because I think there's a really good mix in Raleigh. It's got this charming side to it where it doesn't feel so touristy, and that you could settle here and not get burnt out. And so with wanting to include some of that stuff, I did want to have like the Raleigh landmarks for people that are just visiting for the first time, that want to get like a sense of the spirit of Raleigh, but then also for people that have been here for a long time, have some new blood, if you will, like some new ideas for them, new concepts.
Well, you couldn't have written it at a better time. Of course, I think you wrote it during COVID, so they had to be tough. But now we're at a time where we have individuals who are aching to get out and do stuff. And yet maybe the cost of things like gas and other things are preventing them from doing a big vacation. You can stay here though, can't you?
Yeah,
there are a lot
absolutely.
of fun things to do right here. Maybe you have some ideas?
Yeah, I think, you know, fuel prices are definitely getting prohibitively expensive, but I agree that Raleigh's you've got, just in terms of outdoor activities, there's plenty of biking, there's water, Falls Lake, Lake Johnson, and then there's hiking trails. So those are my big 3, is hiking, biking, water sports. And it's great that, you know, you want to do something on the water, you don't necessarily have to drive to Wilmington or something. You know, that used to be such a hop and a skip, but now it's expensive.
It is.
And what's so accessible about Raleigh is that there are rentals for all of this, that anything you want to do, there's someone there to provide the means to do it.
Now, for someone, we get a lot of family coming in because Raleigh is a great place, and sometimes they stay. But they want to do things. What are some ideas you might be willing to, or you have, that might be helpful for that family that come into town every now and then?
Yeah, for coming to town, if you've got visitors, I would first recommend, since we're approaching summer and we're getting into like really hot and steamy days, I think Marvel's Kids Museum has just always been a pillar for families in Raleigh. It's downtown, it's interactive. You hear museum and you think, oh, maybe that would be a long day with the kids, but there's nothing about it that feels dry. It's just so engaging the entire time. And then two, really close to that is Pullen Park. Pullen Park, I think, is one of the oldest amusement parks in the country, certainly in North Carolina.
Yes.
And so what's so charming about that is there's plenty of green space to enjoy it, but there's also little attractions for kids that are extremely affordable and just very cute. They have little train rides and little paddle boats going around. And so I think that would be my recommendation for people who maybe haven't been to Raleigh before. Or if you have, growing up as a kid, my mom used to take us there quite often because it just never really got old.
I know we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
For those who are watching, do you have a secret hidden gem, something that most people don't know about that you think, you've got to see this?
Yeah. I think, so the book has several different sections, so maybe I could shout out a couple from one or two from each section.
Sure, whatever one it's dear to you that people should go, or maybe you don't want to tell them.
Yeah, keep it on the hush. Yeah, I love to share some of the most heartwarming stories that I got to research while I was writing the book were about missions that Raleigh has, to be inclusive of a lot of people. So one of the ones for food and drink that really inspired me was called A Place at the Table. And I believe the founder's name is Maggie Kane, and she is creating a way for people of every mean to be able to afford their meal. And so she's providing an opportunity for people to pay it forward if they want, or to work for their meal. And in that way, kind of bridging the gap between serving and recipients at a soup kitchen. So that's one of my favorites.
Well, 100 things to see and do in Raleigh before you die. I'm going to get the book because I think they're working on it. I am assuming the book is available everywhere.
Yeah.
How do you get it?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So you can go Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and then locally, Quail Ridge Books is a favorite of mine. They're also in the book because I think they've just got great programs for kids and families. And then Bayleaf Market is another great place they also sell a lot of art from local artists. And NoFo at the Pig, another favorite from the book. And then my website, allihurley.com.
Alli, pleasure meeting you. Thank you for writing the book. It's going to come in very handy around my house.
I truly hope so.
Probably for everybody watching too. Thanks, Alli. Hey, stay right where you are. Call it a stay vacation right here. We'll be right back.